What's that through the microscope number 5? We are going to play a guessing game now. First, we will see an item through a microscope, and I want you to quietly guess what it is. After about 1 minute, we'll back up and see the item in a normal view, and I'll tell you what it is. There are 21 different items to guess at on this video. Here is number 1. What do you think that is? It was a part of a living animal at one time. It's mostly made of calcium carbonate. Can you guess? It's quite beautiful, I think. A side view. Yes, that was a seashell from an ocean snail that is commonly found in the Indian Ocean. Number 1 was strawberry top seashell. Scientific name is Clanculus puniceus. Number 2. What do you think that is? We're seeing different parts of a living animal. Many different textures on the same animal. Oh my. This small brown creature is walking on the large pink animal. Do you know what this little brown creature is? Can you see how many legs it has? Well, it does have 8 legs, but it's not a spider. It is an arachnid. It's actually called a pseudoscorpion. Fascinating little creature. Yes, that big pink animal was a human being, and there we see that pseudoscorpion walking on the left hand of that same human being. And we're looking at different parts of that same left hand through the microscope. So number 2 was human skin. Scientific name is Homo sapiens. A pseudoscorpion was seen on the skin. Number 3. What do you suppose that energetic animal is? If you look very carefully, you can see its heart beating rapidly inside its body. See how many legs it has? Well, you can see 8 legs it uses for moving with. It also has 2 other legs for a total of 10 legs. Probably know this creature when it has a shell, but this is a stage of its life before it has a shell. Closer view of its head. Number 3 was a crab larva from the Pacific Ocean, a crustacean. Number 4. What are these semi-transparent animals? And where are they? Okay, they are in water, and they've fascinated naturalists for hundreds of years. And they actually produce two different kinds of eggs. Occasionally you'll see one of these with brownish eggs, which can survive in dried mud for years. And they also produce kind of clearish greenish eggs, which hatch inside the parent and swim away very soon. Here they are over a penny to show you their size, and we took the penny away. Those are Daphnia, also called water fleas, crustaceans. And here I just wanted to show you my backyard, to show you these Rubbermaid agricultural watering tanks, which I have found to be ideal for keeping aquatic creatures like Daphnia, water fleas in. I have 50-gallon, 100-gallon, 150-gallon watering tanks, and many of the 50-gallon watering tanks I put on top of two white, empty 55-gallon soy sauce barrels so I may more easily examine and study them. And they do well even through freezing winters. And in the summer when it gets warm, like 80 degrees, I cover them with plywood so they don't get overheated. But they've been ideal. I now have 18 of these in my backyard. Number 5. What do you think that is? And what's that black blob that's kind of pulsating there on the left of your screen? Can you see the color pattern of those colored dots? If you guessed that this is a TV screen, wrong. TV screens are usually made of colored stripes. This machine is made of colored dots. There, we just connected to the internet. Yes, that is a computer screen, which is made of about 2 million colored dots. And each 3 dots, red, green, blue dots, equals 1 pixel. Number 6. What are these little organisms? And what are they doing? Are they wrestling? Are they mating? What they're actually doing is several of them are trying to eat the same little morsel of food, and it's pretty crowded. Do you know how many eyes each of these has? Each of these little animals has just one eye. If you guess that they're clams, nope, they do have 2 little shells, so they look kind of like clams, but they're actually not. They're in a whole different phylum than the clam phylum, which are in the mollusk phylum. These are in the crustacean arthropod phylum. You find them in just about any pond or a puddle that's been around for quite a while. You'll find these. Here we see them swimming over a penny just to show you their size, and there's a dead bee fly floating in that water also. They look like little seeds. They're called seed shrimp, Ostracida. Number 7. What do you think this is? It's not alive. It comes in different textures and different colors, and it's used in woodworking. Some of it's coarse, some of it's fine. After you saw wood, you use some of this to smooth it out. There are actually some wood fibers on that sample. Here is the coarsest kind of sandpaper, and it wears away wood quickly. Number 7 was sandpaper, garnet, and aluminum oxide, coarse and medium grit. Number 8. What is this animal? She has lots of energy. Can you see how many legs she has? She does have 8 legs, and it is probably a she, probably is a female. If you guess that she's a water spider, you are close. She's a water arachnid, but not quite a spider. There she is next to a penny to show you her size. There we see that same, it's a water mite swimming in a bowl of water. It's that same red water mite, but you don't see her red coloration there. So number 8 was red water mite. Scientific name is Hydrochna. Number 9. We're seeing number 9 through the microscope at 7 times magnification. Many of you have probably used this today. I have used some of this today, not this exact specimen, but I've used it. If you guessed rocks, well, partly rocks, partly gravel and sand. And the white, if you guess cement, you're only partly right. The white part is cement, but it's combined with sand, gravel, and water, and just the right mixture, and it makes sidewalks. It's concrete, makes sidewalks such as you see here, makes lots of other important structures, and this sidewalk allows you to see wildflowers. Number 9, concrete makes sidewalks, which allows us to see wildflowers. Number 10. What do you think these beautiful green organisms are? Watch carefully. That was not speeded up. They just chose to retract themselves to get out of what they thought was harm's way. Each of the green blobs you see there is one cell. And you can see they're sort of coming back out when they start to sense that they may not be in danger. If you guess that these are sea anemone, they're not sea anemones, but they sure look like it. Here they are over a penny just to show you their size. If you guess that they're green algae, you are right. The green comes from green algae that lives symbiotically inside these single-celled protists. So they're a combination of both a protist and a green algae that live symbiotically. They're called stentors. Chlorophylls are inside each cell in the form of green algae. How aquatic organisms can be filmed while in an aquarium. Here's in my studio. I brought in a 2.5-gallon aquarium of pond water. And there I've got a video camera with an extension tube and a 2x microscope objective lens that I've mounted on a clamp, and I'm shining bright fiber optic light on the surface of that aquarium water and through the video camera. That's what we see. At what works out to be 7 times magnification. Those are beautiful green volvox and other aquatic organisms. Number 11. What do you think this is? Can you guess? No, it's not a honeycomb. No, it's not a sponge. It looks very similar to a sponge. It's actually a food item, much like one that most of you have eaten. Can you guess? Okay, we're looking at a slice of bread. That's the very slice of whole wheat bread we saw through the microscope. That's the one. You're seeing it now. Number 11, slice of bread, 100% whole wheat. Number 12. This is a living animal. We'll take views of different parts of this same animal. What is this? Ah, yes. If you guessed frog, you're right. Pacific tree frog. Scientific name, Hyla regula. Wonderful. Frogs native to Oregon. Number 13. What do you suppose this is? If you guessed paper, no, but it's made from trees, made from wood fibers as paper is, but it's not paper to write on. Next, we saw this tissue from this box of tissues. So number 13 was facial tissue. Number 14. Those little dots are actually alive, little white dots, and they grow larger, and then they grow much larger. This is what they look like after a few weeks of growth and development. Can you guess what these are? They're very commonly found all over the world in ponds, lakes, some rivers. Important part of the ecosystem. Here we see them below a penny, There goes a Pacific tree frog tadpole next to them. Here we see two adults next to the developing little, if you guessed, water worms. They're a type of worm that lives in water. Do you know what kind of worm they are? Okay, they're leeches. Those are two adult leeches and the egg cocoon with the developing young leeches inside. And they get a bad rap. They do lots of good things in our world. So number 14, leeches, eggs, and young, which are inside an egg cocoon, and adults. Number 15. What is that? Think it's lunch meat? Plastic? What are those little holes for? Well, it is partly made of plastic, and the little holes are to allow air through. Can you guess? Okay, that was a Band-Aid adhesive bandage. Number 16. Now you have two things you can guess at here, two living organisms. One is a little brown creature walking along there. And then the thing I most want you to guess at is that whitish, yellowish, gooey stuff, which is alive. And it's actually growing on this wet, decaying newspaper. I was really quite thrilled when this whitish, yellowish, gooey stuff started to grow on this decaying newspaper in a compost aquarium I had in my living room. I don't imagine you would be thrilled by that, but it thrilled me because I'd never quite seen it grow so beautifully. So I brought some of it down into the studio and filmed it. If you guessed that it's snot, it is not snot. I can promise you that. Glue? No, it looks like glue, but it's not glue. The little brown creature's a mite. Here we see it in the compost aquarium in my living room. Those are slime molds. A little closer view, they are a live type of fungus. And here we see them growing on the wet newspaper. Yes, 16 slime mold. Scientific name is Myxomycetes. A mite was walking over it. Number 17. What do you think those are? They are growing very slowly, but they are growing. Did you guess that they're a branch of a tree? They certainly look like it. Here we see another example. These are growing more rapidly, and this is not speeded up. This is the speed at which they grew. I'm sorry for the jerky motion here, but as they're growing, I'm moving them under the microscope to try to keep them in the middle of the picture. And since I do not know exactly which direction they're going to grow in next, it's sometimes a little bit jerky as I do move it. But I still think they're quite beautiful and worth you seen? Yes, if you guessed crystals, you are right. These are sodium bichromate crystals. Number 17, crystals growing, potassium ferrocyanide, then sodium bichromate. These are Epsom salt crystals out of the box. Take and stir them in an equal amount of the warmest tap water you can get. Then take an eyedropper and put 1 drop of this warm Epsom salt solution on a glass microscope slide. Put the slide under your microscope. Adjust the lighting, adjust the focus, and within less than 10 minutes, these are Epsom salt crystals growing as seen through your microscope. And this is what Epsom salt crystals look like when they're finished growing. Number 18. What are these? If you guess that they're metal, yes, they're made of metal. We saw this hacksaw blade through the microscope right here. Sharp, don't touch it. We also saw this radial arm saw blade, those sharp points. Handsaw, handy for sawing wood. So 18 saw blades, handsaw, radial arm saw, and hacksaw. Number 19. A disagreement. Bringing home the bacon. Okay, here is where they were living. This is on the south side of my house. Let's zoom in slowly. This is in September of the year, and they had made a nest in an abandoned rodent hole, probably an old mouse hole. And by the time we're seeing them, there are probably more than 1,000 yellow jacket wasps living in this one nest. Here's one last look. So 19 was yellow jackets, scientific name Vestibula pennsylvanica. Number 20. Number 20 is alive. Are you going to open up? Open wide. Do you know what that animal is? Lives in the ocean. It glues itself to wood, to rocks, to the hulls of boats, to crabs, to lobsters. Got incredibly strong glue, then it reaches out and grabs food. Here it is in the aquarium where I collected and filmed it. There's a pen pointing at that same little animal. Okay, it was number 20 was a barnacle from the Pacific Ocean, another crustacean. Number 21. Do you know what that is? This is where this organism lives, in wetlands. So down at that same wetlands, there goes one swimming past a blade of watergrass. Kind of a side view. Some pet shops sell these, a close relative of these, as, do you know what they sell them as? They sell them as, they call them sea monkeys. What those are brine shrimp. Here we see one swimming in water next to a penny to show you its size. And you're back through the microscope. These are not brine shrimp that you're seeing here, but they're close relatives of brine shrimps. See what's happening there? These are basically freshwater brine shrimp. They're called fairy shrimp. Probably guessed that those two fairy shrimp are mating. And the female fairy shrimp produces eggs there. Sometimes they produce eggs without mating. Sometimes they produce eggs that are fertilized by a male fairy shrimp. They can reproduce two different ways, which is very beneficial trying to survive in a wetland. And that wetland dries out each summer. Number 21, fairy shrimp. A fifth crustacean. Quick quiz. We are now going to see the 21 items we saw earlier in short 5 to 10 second clips in a different order. See how many of these you can guess and write down quickly on a sheet of paper numbered 1 to 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. The end or quiz again. Quiz again. We will now see different short clips of these same 21 items in the same order as on the quick quiz. You can use the quiz again to help you write down the answers you may have missed during the quick quiz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. We didn't see this exact clip before, but those floating brown things are the resting eggs of those little creatures swimming around in the water, of water fleas. You guessed it. That is the end. Whew. Bye for now.